A MAGA influencer is getting pushback from both sides of the aisle for attacking Tim Walz's son, Gus, for actually daring to show emotion.
Gus and Gwen, you are my entire world, and I love you. I'm letting you in.
That right there is just a heartfelt moment of pure, unadulterated joy. You gotta love it. Now, it's been previously reported that the 17-year-old Gus happens to be neurodivergent. The Washington Post notes that Walz and his wife have shared publicly that their son has a nonverbal learning disorder, ADHD, and anxiety. So now, look, I can relate. I have ADHD. Some of us have emotional dysregulation, but I don't think that's the case here. I mean, this just feels like, again, a normal, heartfelt moment. His dad is been literally chosen to be the vice presidential nominee. He could be in the White House come next year. That's huge. That is huge. And there's not a lot of people out there who wouldn't be overwhelmed with pride and joy. That said, one person who's very joyless decided to chime in. This is Laura Loomer, who says, people were mocked for crying during President Trump's speech at the RNC, but now the Democrats want you to think it's so wonderful how Tim Walz's son was crying last night. No thanks. I refuse to have empathy or give kindness to the party of division, lies, and despair. You know what was mocked during the RNC? The idea that people were wearing maxi pads on their ears for Trump. That whole thing, that's kind of weird. Well, let's be honest about that. That was weird. A child showing emotion during the nomination of his father that he loves, that's not weird at all. That's powerful. Suffice to say, she got major pushback. One commenter says, quote, "You're legitimately a psychopath. You hate everyone you disagree with." Another said, "Laura, your lack of empathy is no surprise, given you were clearly born as a vile, hateful spawn." Wow. We all know you weren't loved as a child, and it shows in every venomous word you spew. You couldn't recognize genuine emotion or human decency if it smacked you in the face. The fact that you can't even comprehend the difference between a real, heartfelt moment and the cultish tears of Trump worshippers says everything about your twisted, empty soul. Now to be fair, for some Trump supporters, this was the day after somebody took a shot at him. So, yeah, I can expect a little bit of emotion from that. I'm not completely devoid of emotion or heart. Okay. Now Texas Trey writes, "It's obvious your unresolved trauma has left you unable to empathize or show kindness to anyone." Twit for Democracy says, "Psychopaths have no empathy, so it's really not an option for you." Kitten Drawers writes, "Gus Walz has a nonverbal learning disorder. You gonna go tip over a kid in a wheelchair later and laugh when they can't get up?" Another says, "Does the life you chose make you happy, Laura? It's not too late to get on meds and to be normal." And then finally, another says, "The son is not a public figure." And I lied. It's not the last one. "That young man has more love in his heart than you will ever know." All right. So now that said, Loomer isn't the only right-wing influencer to have weighed in a negative way. Here comes Ann Coulter. Talk about weird. Hey, you know what's weird is picking on a kid for legitimately expressing emotion. Now, that said, Coulter immediately learned the error of her ways, at least on this one. She ended up deleting the post. Now, Laura Loomer's post is still up, as far as I know. That said, you had right-wing influencers saying, you know what? Lay off the kid. Here's Ben Shapiro. This is really quite nice. You know what? Great take from Ben. And this is from Matt Walsh saying, "Yeah, attacking a kid for loving his dad is the dumbest move I've seen by right-wingers on this site in a while. Literally no benefit to it at all. Some people on our side have no ability to think strategically. Frustrating." All right, so look, it is a little bit weird that Matt Walsh is only concerned about, oh, you know, this is not going to look good strategically, you know what I'm saying? So that's not really a whole lot of empathy coming from Matt. But anyway, there's some others did show some. Kayla Norris writes, "This is the way, not picking on a guy's son who's deeply proud of his dad." Common Sense Option says, "I don't get why so many people are attacking this. I don't like Tim Walz at all, but this is a great moment." All right, Clearly, they are a very close family, and it's a nice moment to see if you step outside of politics for a second. Matt Walsh got to listen to that. Even though he generally agrees that it's a nasty thing to do and that you shouldn't attack the kid, again, he's all thinking politically about it. MJ writes, there are people out here taking shots at this kid, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Alex on X says, this is actually a really sweet reaction by his kids. Children are off limits in my book. I don't like their dad, but I would never say anything bad about his or anyone's kids. So, again, these comments, you can tell they're conservatives. They're Ben Shapiro fans. Now, I wanted to be fair and show you that many of them happen to be also calling out the terrible people who are picking on this young man. So that's great to see. Look, if Barron had cried when his dad was nominated, it would have been fine. I don't think anybody would have attacked him. Leave the kids alone. At the end of the day, it just makes you look like a petty, vindictive, nasty person. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.